All right, I'm just setting up the camera. So I was looking at this. So now I have this, and then maybe I want this to be my game camera. Then you go to main camera, select it, and then Shift Control F. So you change the game camera to match my view camera.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to zoom out. I like this view, for example. Then you close the game and then select the main camera, Shift Control F, and then play the next game. Then it's going to be in that desired position. Okay. Cool. I'm going to change the background. Create a folder called materials. Right click, create a material, sky. Then change the shader to be cube map. And then change the color of it as you want. And then go to Windows, Rendering, Lighting, and go to Environment. Change the sun source to sky. Oh, no, the first one. Default skybox material. And this directional light, we can set none. So that's how we change our we might need the directional light. Window, rendering, lighting, new lighting setting. Then let's play. Okay. It's too bright, too bright. Okay, I think it's just, I'm gonna just for now change the color. The exposure a little bit lower. Color to be a little bit darker. Let's see. I think I hope so, but that's fine. So what I wanted to do is I want to make sure that you guys know how to interact with the script. So I will cover improving the aesthetics of it in another class in more depth with lighting and post-processing, rendering pipeline, and all those are separate. Today I'm going to use this, create a UI and use a slider and buttons to interact with your script. So you want to right click, go to UI, and then let's add a slider here, slider. So what slider is, it's going to, in the scene, it's weirdly creating this weird virtual three-dimensional thing that represents your game scene. See? This doesn't affect your three-dimensional model. But if you want to move, you see this game scene, if you want to move it, you move here. And for example, if you play the game, you still have your model, three-dimensional model here, and it doesn't affect your game. And you won't see this again here. You will see this canvas only on the screen. So, create the slider. Okay, so right click, just say UI and slider. Creating a canvas for you if you add a UI. Okay, so once you made the slider, so this is the overall canvas, and you can also create multiple sliders for toggle. So you can click on canvas, go to UI. Let's add one more thing. Let's add a button. So this button text mesh pro, or so in some other versions, you will see two types of buttons: normal button and button text mesh pro. Always text mesh pro version if it has both. So I made a button and then say yes, import essential. You don't need this example. Okay, so this is a button. You can also move this button around like this. You do whatever you want. And then you see now our canvas is landscape, right? But actually you can change the ratio here, free. But if you are building something on your phone, you might wanna something vertical. You can also add your kind of virtual, let's say 1080 and 1920 to, then I'm gonna label it phone. Say okay. And then that's how you set up the canvas size. And you see this actually changed a lot. And it's actually aligning to center. So if you change this to a, it does that. Why is that? It's because this thing is the center alignment. You see this weird icon here? So it's aligned, it's relationally positioned according to this thing. All right. So you wanna do this. You wanna go to the slider and make sure that if you want this to be aligned to the bottom corner, you should change this one to left bottom corner. So you use this, make sure it's aligned there, and then move this thing accordingly. And even if you now change this radius to phone, it's aligned to the corner. This is a very common mistake. Check this before you export to an app, and then you realize the icon is missing or going out of your screen. All right, and then you can also scale this here, or you scale this here. It's up to you. So I kind of scale this here. Let's make this button also to be scaled a little bit. And then I want this to be aligned to the right bottom corner. I'm gonna, you see this icon change? So if I change this ratio to my phone, yes. So we are going to use this device. This is our common one. I'm gonna leave this here. Everybody is going to make an Android app and deploy to here for your future homework. Okay. All right, but we will, in principle, we are making a full HD, 1980 and landscape in principle. So when you are designing, please use this full HD landscape as default. Okay, so we have this slider. Slider has this minimum and maximum value. So you can also check it here. And this value is the default value. So maybe we can use this. Maybe let's try to change some sphere size maybe. So we are going to start from 0.1 to maybe 10. And by default, it starts from maybe 1. Or let's say 2. Okay. Yeah. You don't want to have the size to be smaller than 0. Okay, and then I'm going to add a sphere. It's too far. My camera is too far. And I want to reset. Reset. Okay. And then I'm going to say F. Zoom here. And then I'm gonna, because my maximum is 2, so I'm gonna check how it looks. Okay, so that's the maximum size, and I want my camera to position. So I'm going to go to my main camera. I'm not using circle packing now, so I'm gonna just delete this just for now, for this exercise. We are going to resume this. Okay, go to sample scene. No, sorry. You go to main camera, make sure that your camera, your view is on the perfect camera angle. And then you click on the main camera, Shift, Control F. So now your game scene is looking at the right position. We don't have circle packing here. We are gonna add it later. All right. And then in the sphere, I'm going to add a small script to read the slider number. Okay, so we are going to go to script, right click, C#, slider control. And then inside sphere, I'm going to run this thing. Right click and edit script. And I'm going to do one thing to show you how to read the slider value. So we are going to use public slider, my slider. And then the slider is erroring because we didn't import the right package. So a way to do this more automatically is error message and go to show potential fixes. And then it's suggesting you how to fix this. You can click on this one and then it adds this line. Alternatively, you just add that line manually. And now if I save this, go back to the sphere, I will see it's going to ask me for a slider. It's asking now. So I'm going to add my slider there. So now it's reading the slider. Sphere is reading the slider. And then in the start or in the update, I'm going to print the value of it. So in order to print a number value, we need this icon. quotation and parentheses. And then I'm going to use my slider dot value. And then I want to see if I can actually read the slider value in the script. So play. In the console, I see my value, go to my slider and, oh, no, not on the slider, in the game scene. Let me make this bigger. The game scene, if I change the slider, it changes the value. And we are going to use this value to determine the size of the sphere. We already know how to use a number to change geometries, transform, and local scale. So it's really easy. We go back to our script. We are going to use this number to determine my geometry. So this transform local is new vector 3 and my value 3 times. So I'm going to declare this float value and then comma value, comma value, comma. Now if I play the game, it actually changes the size of it. Let's start a new scene. Basic built-in, create. Okay. File, save as. Scenes. Scene 2. Okay, so when you start to build a really complex script and everything, I like to sometimes package things and start from scratch scene because Unity package can crash. But if you package things more discretely and save things separately, you can prevent losing everything together. Okay, so I'm going to add the circle packing again. So right click, create empty, circle packing, reset, and then bring this circle packing here. Make sure you give the prefab. So you can also get it from here, list. Okay, now I play. Okay, similarly, position, camera position. Alternatively, you can say F. Okay, now you close the game and go to main camera, Shift Control F. Now you have a good camera angle. All right, I'm going to right click, create a slider. I'm going to this value to maybe let all of the circle packing move towards X to start with. Shall I do that? Okay, so I'm going to use Full HD as default. Always design it for Full HD. Make sure I'm aligning to the or bottom, maybe. And then I can center this and I can scale this. Oh, you can also, you should also really try to change this kind of display settings, and you can also use an image for your UI. So you don't need to stick to this this kind of like shape. So you can all control all of these things. So in the background, you can change this image to something else. Let's see if these are coming from some random examples, but for example, you know, if you use an image, you can change the way it looks. Okay, go to circle packing, right click, let's edit this. Before that, let's change the value of the slider. So it's from 0 to 1. That's not too bad. Okay, let's stick to that. Let's stick to that. Okay. Okay, maybe -1 to 1. All right. And I'm going to use that value to let all the circles to move to the X direction. All right. So let's do that by adding a slider. Slider, public slider, X value slider. And you need the UI. And let's go back to our circle agents. We can add a global move. So let's just add it here. Or let's just make a new method. Okay, so public global move. Void. Then global move is center plus is something global. Something. What should this be? I can actually get the number from here, right? Every time I get an update, right? Then I need that vector. So I'm going to get a vector 3. Vector. Okay, so let's see where we can call this. So go to the system. Whenever I'm updating, I ask CA global move, and then I pass something. So this is coming from the circle packing. To pass that information to here. So I'm going to make it into a public global variable of public float. Is it float? No, sorry. Vector 3 global move. And let's say by default is 0. So we pass this If there is no global move, it's going to be 0, so it's not going to affect your circle packing. And then we go back to our packing. And we are going to call this. We are going to pass the global move in every start. C system dot global move is a new vector and using the slider value as x, others as 0, 0. So the update will process this information. Okay, now you save it. Control S. Has some error. Let's fix the error first. Oh, I didn't set the value slider. I didn't give the pass the. Okay, now it's working. I need to turn that on. Okay, I'm gonna turn this on. Go S. Okay, now you play. It's going to the right, come to the left, going to the right, come to the left. Does it make sense?